says that gas efficient cars and EVs is not
We've
good.
got
It's
sound.
taking away the income from the highway funding. But yet, here he is, got this big highway fund, take, taking funds from those highway projects for the interstates to create, build a highway going into Jasper. After he just spent highway funds, build a helipad. And what about these funds he's paying his staff? He's maxed out all of his staff to the highest pay amount that he can pay his staff in the state. That's not counting Mr. Beckwith's staff. In fact, every one of the so-called high-end staff, like Secretary of State, they're all maxed out on their staff. They're not doing that.
Oh yes, it's on.
Oh yeah, let's not talk about.
Test. Well, I was looking for the link and I found the link. Okay, so
Testing 1 2 3.
it's got to be at least like a minute or so delay on it, but I'm pretty sure.
Testing 1 2 3.
Oh yeah, the mic definitely is sticking. What we need.
Our Secretary of State said there are voting information to Washington D.C., which is illegal.
All right, so we are on YouTube. Let's get on Facebook. And we're going through our list of things. So we have the King for the future, and I'm going to market it. We've got questions for staff and the financial records and the backward transportation staff budget, the observe, also look at the numbers for education, child mortality, healthcare, incarceration, and I have federal. I don't know why I have. Then I also got Minnesota and WASP because of ISIS there. Politicians, I was for pocketbook, generation, journalistic integrity. Oh, and I need
Yeah, we kind of start off full. Start off the cute stuff. We're coming out full. We're looking at everybody. So we're serious. We're the bad boys.
so you're not a political person.
We're coming out looking at everybody saying we are what is it? Doc Holliday and Wyatt Earp. We're coming out saying, bring it on, baby. We ain't afraid of you. Especially me. I'm the Fed here. Oh, the disclaimer.
Do you have it, or do I need to look it up?
I thought you already had it ready.
I did. I sent it to you. That's why I asked if you had it, or if I need to look it up for you.
If you did, I hadn't seen it yet.
I sent it to you within an hour, and you told me you hadn't seen it 2 weeks ago. Let's see.
Is it on the Facebook?
I'll just scroll up to it. I'm sure. I love using. This is why I prefer text over.
Yeah, you said it in. I told you I can't do
stuff.
Google Docs.
Yeah, and that's why I said it would be fine, and I sent it to you right after that in full text. And let's see. Now I didn't send that. I sent the notes in the Google Doc. I sent the disclaimer. Let's see. Was it before the 9th? I haven't followed her for a while. What's she doing now that's grabbing people's attention to comment on?
Nope, the only thing I got was Google Docs.
Yeah, that was for the notes. The disclaimer I wrote full text out, and here it is on January the 9th. Yep, same day we met last, I believe. I'm going to put your disclaimer.
Okay. The views, opinions expressed here are solely my own and do not reflect the views, policy, positions of my employer or any organization I'm affiliated with.
Yeah. I just cut and pasted it disclaimer. It's you. It's already saying it's
Okay.
that you're not affiliated with it. If you're using the cryptic voice anyway, then we don't need the disclaimer because you'll already be blurred out and everything.
No, I'm talking about just to read the disclaimer.
Yeah, you don't need that because
I'll
it's
read
gonna
it,
be.
but I'll read it. I'll read it. The now wait. The views and opinions expressed are solely my opinions and do not reflect the views, policies, or positions of my employer or any organization I am affiliated with.
All right.
Now let's get this show on the road.
All right. So I think let's get. Oh, the laugh.
Vincent Price.
I love. Oh my gosh, that.
Yeah, that's what I said. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right. I'm going to Vincent Price it.
All right.
Let's do it right.
All right. We got intro, tombstone,
And by the way,
disclaimer.
you put 3725.
Yes, you said it was 3728. This is 3725.
Well,
I can show you a piece of mail.
I copied that and put it right in the tracker.
Something must have changed on the way. I can show you a piece of mail. It's 3725 on the front of the house. Something got lost somewhere, but I told you I sent it right because it's automatic on my phone. I don't type it. I don't type in those numbers.
And I don't type it in either. I copy and paste it.
Exactly. That's why I type in home AD, and all that automatically gets spelled out for anybody who needs my address.
I'm gonna use an
Same
AI.
thing for
I'm
all.
gonna use an AI. I think I'll use an AI and get Vincent Price to read that.
Same thing for all my emails and websites and every. I don't type out anything. I type in at least 4 letters, and then the phone plugs it right in. So we got the intro, we got disclaimer. Let's just go ahead and start with Trump right at the top. Go ahead and move him to the top of the list.
Oh, we're gonna
And
do
after
we're gonna
Trump.
do Trumpy?
Well, here's what we'll do.
Because Trumpy really screwed up his Denmark trip.
Here's what we'll do. Let's give Trump 5 minutes at the beginning, and we'll give the other topics 10 minutes, and we'll come back for Trump 5 minutes at the end. Or would you rather give it all 10 minutes?
No, we'll give him 5 minutes.
Cool. So we'll give Trump 5 minutes, and let's do General Trump 5 minutes and Venezuela 5 minutes. That way it'll be 10. Then we'll do 10 minutes State County. Then we'll do Minnesota.
Minnesota
It's
will probably take
5:35.
up, Minnesota will take up a lot of our time.
All right, then let's do 5-5. Let's do 5 all the way through, and we'll decide if we need 5 more at the end of each. That'll work for me. Then we'll just roll all the way through the notes and whatnot, and then we'll look at it and come up with an agenda for next time.
We'll have plenty of time because it's not. I definitely will be. It'll be a good discussion, but I don't think it'll take up most of our 20 minutes on that. And the city stuff will take up. We'll have more time to come back.
Right,
Humpy Trumpy. Hippie Trumpy. Humpy Trumpy. Oh, that one went well on the YouTube. Humpy Trumpy.
Hey, that'll sell.
That'll be trending as soon as it hits. Humpy Trumpy.
All right, I'm starting. Oh wait, the T segment. I need to write that right after the intro. Before Trump. Let's get people in and welcome them with warmness. All right. So we've been live on YouTube. I can cut everything up to now.
Can I turn the mic on?
Yes.
I think my mic. Yeah, my mic's on.
Yes, you should turn the mic on. And I'm gonna start Tombstone. And Facebook's a little late. Ooh. Did I change the Facebook messages?
me the link so I can send it to my friends.
I can do that. All right, are you ready for your disclaimer?
Yeah, I am. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Indiana Common Sense Nonsense. Before we begin, I have to give you the disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed here are solely my own and do not reflect the views, policies, or positions of my employer in any organization I am affiliated with. So you all understand these are just my opinions and views. Thank you.
And I am self-employed, and so everything I say is coming straight from me. And my employers, my clients, already don't like what I say, and so I already got to be in meetings for that stuff anyway. So I don't really have to say more about that. By the way, I am Tony, and I think I'm gonna do this as DJ Tony because I'm always looking for more business. Like, I'm a DJ, hire me. I'll travel anywhere that's willing to pay me. I had to go about 4 states over, and I only charged them $2,000. So, holla at your boy, and let's do a big DJ Tony. And the Payoga logo is covering you all up right there.
Yeah, for some reason.
There we go. Actually, I can turn it on top. But do you want to give any intro at all? Okay, no. Okay, nope, I didn't think so. I figured that'd be all right the way it is. But so we have our disclaimer, our title. We are Indiana Common Sense
And nonsense.
and nonsense.
And I'm Brian Dedamore, the co-host of this fine new show. And we're here to talk about the common sense and nonsense of Indiana, Grant County, and federal politics.
Yeah, pretty much. We met at the Democratic County, Democratic
Grant County,
Grant
the
County,
Grant
there we go.
County Democratic
Council.
meeting.
Yeah, council meeting. And I said I really want to work with this guy. He's got all the energy that he's got the views and the desire to express them that I really work well with. And as a minister of music, I'm a great number 2, a great moderator, and I've just put all the people together already anyway with my mission statement, which is people are our greatest resource. PAOGR, Payoger, like everybody who probably is watching or will watch soon should know. And one of my Payoga friends just happened to be here. So they are going to join on as they see fit as we go through this process. We are going to start off with some tea.
Well. To people I follow, Tea with Christy, Texas Paul, and of course Quinn Pratt. So here is tea from the Northlands. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm sending you some ICE, the ice. And I'm going to talk ice with y'all for a moment. I'm sorry to send you ice, but hey, from the Northland, I'm sorry. This is my tea for a moment. ICE. That's a nice little police organization run by Mr. Orange Face. Oh, I call him Orange Chicken Taco. Yeah, he's been losing some court cases about how he can use that nice little chicken force he's using to grab anyone he wants and how he wants.
So I follow this lady who crochets. She's an ex-army vet, and she's a cult PhD scholar, all that stuff. And she said, to those who think the checks and balances haven't been holding, they either haven't been paying attention or they don't understand the checks and balances. She breaks down about how about how Trump is not the leader of the military or the head of the military.
No, he's not.
He is certainly not. And the military is the most diverse organization on earth by some aspects. And so the checks and balances have been holding. He has been falling in the courts. He has lost several times recently in the Supreme Court. So the checks and balances are holding, even though we are still going through this dystopian nightmare.
Well, here's what Trump is trying to do. He's going into these blue cities hoping that we will riot so he can use the Insurrection Act. That's basically what he's trying to do. So he's hitting Minnesota. Why? Governor Walz, the last Democratic Republican vice president candidate. So that's where he's hitting at. He's hitting in New York. He hit Chicago because he thought, well, gangster attitude. Well, I'm going to hit Chicago. Well, guess what? Ain't working, folks. And he sent Indiana National Guardsmen to D.C. right after the shooting of a guardsman. So, folks, do not give this man the reason to pull the Insurrection Act. ICE comes in, do what the Minnesotans are doing. Whistles, record everything. Don't
Well, here's the
give them.
problem.
Don't give them a reason to shoot.
Here's the problem, though. They have been told they're allowed to go door to door. And our Fourth Amendment right tells us to use our Second Amendment right if they try to enter your home for search or seizure. And so I think it's a matter of a month before the tower comes crashing down in a very hard way.
Oh, it's going to crash. I mean,
Unfortunately, people will die. People have been dying. That's something else. A lot of people say people are going to die, or are you willing to die? Or they use the shooting in Minnesota and say a lot of places online, the conservatives and the Republicans will say, yeah, liberals, are you ready to face the same justice that Renee Goodall had to face? And now is the time for it. Now is the time to understand that the protests are on that level now. That in order to make a difference, you're going to have to use that Second Amendment right that the Fourth Amendment gives you, even though they're being told something different right now. People have been dying. And so, saying somebody's going to die, or when is, the Civil War going to happen, or the Insurrection Act, which has been being used, like, people have been dying.
well,
And it's only a matter of time now with ICE going door to door. I give it a month tops.
right now they're passing out a thing to put on your doors for when ice isn't as bad here as it is out in Minnesota and stuff.
Yet.
I say yet, but I have a thing that I'll post on my Facebook.
And you say ice isn't as bad here, but did you know that they did a raid in Muncie today?
No, I did not hear about that raid in Muncie.
Yeah. They did a raid in Muncie today. I'm part of a few different pages to monitor ICE. And so I knew when they were in the parking lot gathering, and I shared information to other people about it. And we're going to continue to fight back every way we can with things like that. And that's the benefit of being the stay-at-home dad and the person who lives online, is that I have the ability to do stuff like that. All right. So it goes on the door. I do not open my door to strangers. Due to the terrorizing of Americans by the Department of Homeland Security under Kristi Noem and Donald Trump, and due to widespread impersonation of law enforcement and door-to-door workers used to intimidate and harm people, this property is off limits to unannounced visitors. Law enforcement. Entry requires a signed judicial warrant issued by a judge. ICE administrative warrants do not authorize entry. This home is protected under the First, Fourth, and Second Amendments of the U.S. Constitution. I do not consent to questioning, searches, or entry without a valid judicial warrant. I respond only to text messages from known contacts. Do not knock. Documents may be left at the door. Boom. Mic drop. Game over.
Now, to give you an idea, a judicial warrant is signed by a judge, a actual judge. Okay, an administrative is somebody within ICE, like a Kristi Noem or Biggio or someone like that. Okay, make sure that you know the difference. Okay, that's like they go up, get a prosecutor, say, hey, I think Brian Dedamore has explosives here. I need to go in and search. It has to be specific for what they're looking for, who they're looking for in that specific address. Okay? Make sure you have all the components there. And it has to be signed by a judge. Okay? That's why everything's there. If some guy with some kind of ice that you can buy on Temu for $20 with their face covered, knocking on my door, and I tell them, and this is posted on my door, starts trying to break in my door, first thing they're going to get is 2 warnings. Cease and desist. That's the second warning. They break in my door, they're going to meet the Second Amendment. Guaranteed. And then I'm going to call the cops, and then me and the cops can decide whether I'm walking out in handcuffs or not. I'm a Navy veteran, guys. I'm 62 years old. Okay? I don't condone the use of firearms unless someone's breaking in my house. But you break in my house, and I'm sorry, I'm going to defend my home. This is a warning. And then me telling you, show me the warrant, show me a proper warrant. You don't, you're breaking into my house. Sorry, that is a fact. And I will take my handcuffs. I'll call my attorney. We'll fight it in court. That's just the bottom line fact.
And that's the way you're supposed to do it, right there. We're also going to tackle on this podcast today and in the future the local, because of course everybody's federal affected. However, locally in Indiana, they're going to be charging interstates toll roads. They're going to be changing interstates to toll roads. Has it gone through yet, or are they just discussing it still?
Braun has taken it to the federal level to request permission to turn all the interstates, 69, 70, 465, for the ones around Fort Wayne, around Kokomo, all those in the interstates, because, as he quotes, say, because we're not generating enough income from fuel sales because of EVs, and I laugh at that one, and fuel efficient cars, we're not generating enough income to
So because we're
pay
being
the tolls.
more environmentally friendly, we're not giving them enough revenue, the bad guys, and so we're going to be charged tolls. Everybody's being charged tolls because of that. That sounds a whole lot like for-profit prisons.
Yeah, basically, Mike Braun and the Republican Party are for business. They want to turn a federal government into business, okay? Because that's their philosophy. The federal government, folks, is not designed for a for-profit.
Shouldn't be.
Should never be.
But I was actually told and believe and studied that George Washington was the greatest businessman the world has ever seen. The concepts of life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness are directly tied to prison, food, and education. And they have all been privatized in America, even though the Constitution says otherwise. I mean, but it also said all men are created equal and things like that. And we all agree at this point that the Constitution lied. But a lot of people think that the amendments have changed, and they haven't. I mean, they came out with 13th like 8 years ago, probably, and people still don't know that the 13th Amendment still allows slavery, and that prisons, that all the major corporations, Meyer, Walmart, McDonald's, all profit heavy from prison labor, which when you get into prison, there is no choice of labor. Like the pennies a day that you make, or the pennies an hour that you make, that you can only spend on commissary, actually reflect our ecosystem, where Walmart and these big businesses, their employees are being paid by them, but also don't make enough, so they're on welfare. So all of our tax dollars are going right back, and we're subsidizing those big businesses where those same employees have to shop to get their food because that's where it's cheapest for their kids. Like, it's all
Yeah, we don't pay the Walmart customers enough. That Walmart doesn't pay their customers, so they're receiving SNAP benefits,
They don't pay their employees enough, so they're on SNAP,
and then they go back in Walmart and spend that money.
that they're also being subsidized for. The government bails out Walmart and the banks and Wall Street and the car industry and all these industries that should be failing, that we need to let fail. And because
And they're over subsidized. It's like the the contractors.
it's more than double. There's more than double the amount of corporate welfare than there is social welfare. And if that money was given to the people, then the businesses that help the people would thrive and would make it. But more than double the amount that's spent on all social programs is spent on all corporate welfare programs. And that's a prison system.
Yeah,
That makes America without affordable health care the largest mental
and you know what they
hospital in the
call
world.
that? You know
What?
what kind of system they call that?
What?
An oligarchy.
An oligarchy. Those at the top, a few control everything with the money, that we all have to live under their rule.
And this is part of the reason why why we're trying to get rid of Citizens United. Which, by the way, I like Montana's way of getting rid of it.
How did Montana do it?
Oh, they said, well, we control corporations. We set the rules of how they incorporate and everything. So we just say, hey, corporations can't donate money to politicians.
So
if you want
it's-
to keep your corporation, you want to be incorporated in Montana, you can't. You're
do we
you
know
have the right to do it, but while you're incorporated in Montana, you cannot donate to a politician.
why isn't it like that in California? I've always thought of California as the state to watch for all blue things and people things and
They haven't used their brain yet.
well, I can see that.
Montana, believe it or not, Montana is one of them states that actually is getting tired. Oh, Montana's one of them states that's getting tired of when one of their local elections spends several $1 million for just a local fight. They said, well, we might be conservative, we might be red, but we're tired of stupid money being poured in. So we're going to stop that. We're going to do it. And the nice thing about it is every state in the union has that power. Indiana has that power. Ohio has that power. Florida has that power. You want to chop Mickey Mouse at his knees? Ron DeSantis has that power.
You say that, but the average American doesn't understand how powerful the mouse is, because
Oh yeah,
Ron DeSantis has gone to war with the mouse several times and lost.
he's gotten slapped so hard.
Like they threatened to stop giving Disney tax breaks or something like that, but they didn't realize at the time apparently that Disney handles all its own things that it would be paying taxes for anyway, like
Yeah,
the water, the sewage, the
yeah,
plumbing,
they made their own.
the police, Disney is fully self-sufficient because they bring in so much money. And so when DeSantis was like, "Oh, we're gonna make you pay more for whatnot," Disney said, "We're gonna make you pay more." And yeah, that was it.
Yeah, I remember the the
uh,
talk that DeSantis, he got slapped by a cartoon
yes.
mouse with
So
gloves on.
you can say you want to cut the mouse off at the knees, and don't get me wrong, there are 100 ways to take down anything. Period.
What they
So
did
I'm not
was
a doubter or a hater. I'm just
they-
saying it's
they-
never simple.
Montana did it.
It's never
did it the right
easy.
way. They cut corporations,
Oh yeah.
not Mickey Mouse in particular, just corporations in general.
Oh yeah. You definitely should be trying to. You gotta.
They're cutting corporations' ability. You be a corporation in Montana, but we're going to write it in your corporation charters now that you cannot donate to political people. You cannot donate to political causes.
We got to talk about the future. What is journalistic integrity was on the list, but
Journalistic integrity. Well, we can start with the fact that Ronald Reagan killed journalistic integrity.
That's right. I remember we discussed that already.
It was the Truth Doctrine, 1983. Before 1983, this is before any of you kids were around.
Only by 5 years.
Okay. Back when I was I'm 62, by the way, folks. I'm a baby boomer, just for the record, okay?
And I'm 37.
So you got a baby boomer and a Y'er here.
X.
Okay, an Xer.
I think. I don't know.
We'll look it up. We'll know by
I looked
next
it up
week.
2 weeks ago, but I didn't write it down.
Anyway, Ronald Reagan got rid of what they call the Truth Doctrine. The Truth Doctrine said that all news or podcasters like him and I are doing today, we have to report both sides of something. So, in other words, we have to provide you the truth on both sides of an argument. Okay? The good and the bad, whether we like it or not. Okay? When Ronald Reagan took that out or removed it, this opened up Fox News and Rush Limbaugh. This made them opinionated journalism. Okay, this created Tucker Carlson. This created, I'm going to say this cuss word, because saying this is usually kills people. Charlie Kirk. Okay? These things created these people that allows them to express their opinion without saying the whole truth about their opinion. Now, I'm willing to debate anybody, and I have rules when I debate people. I'm willing to sit down with anybody and talk facts with them respectfully, and I agree to disagree with anybody. Okay? That is something I've always done, and I always still do, whether you're 16 years old or whether you're 99 years old. Okay? And I do a pretty good job of speaking with people. But when you have people coming on and saying stuff that we know is false, but they spin it in a way that makes people think it's different, you get wild opinions about everything. And Fox News has been doing it for almost 50 years. And if you go Google Fox News, in fact, if you look it up now, go look it up on your phone. Google Fox News. They'll tell you they're not a newscast organization. Their opinion. If you want, we'll look it up. I'll look it up on my phone and show it to you. Just for the edge of it.
And that's the end of our time. So once he looks it up, we are going to be playing our outro music, but we're gonna have longer segments, and the focus or the format is gonna be national, local, and then other, likely moving forward. That just seems to be a good way to run it and a good way to harvest it all the way through and be great with you guys at home. We're looking up at Fox's actual news. Fox
Okay. This is reading from Wikipedia. Fox News. Often referred to as Fox News Channel, FNC. Often referred to as Fox News, is American multinational conservative news and political commentary television channel and website based out in New York City, owned by Fox News Media, subsidiary of Fox Corporation.
I remember there was a Supreme Court case that said they didn't need to give actual news, and that's all. That's all I needed to know about them. You got any? You want to give thank yous? What's gonna go in our credits?
What's going to go on our credits?
Yep. Thank you to Jasmine Crockett and AOC and
Give credit to.
I'm a big Candace Owens fan.
Candace Owens.
I want to thank Governor Walz and the mayor of Minneapolis. You guys are fighting a big old fight up there.
Oh yeah.
You guys are really, and Governor Gavin, keep up that good fight. Get Donald Trump's backside. Big time.
shout out to Chicago too. Chicago's been fighting back.
Yes.
They've been doing the damn thing.
And one other thing. The Bears, thank you for a great season. And Green Bay, too, thank you for a decent season.
Peace
By the way,
out.
I'm a Bears fan for the record.
See you guys next week, next time, next episode.
We'll have more Grant County news because the mayor did something great.